Well, very fortunate this morning, 2024 Pennsylvania gun season, and I believe this was my 22nd gun opener since '93, and I've always been blessed out here. I love it. We don't see a lot of deer, but we're about an hour and a half in, and I got a bad chest cold. It felt like every step coming in, we go up about 600 to 700 feet in elevation. It is rough, coming in here, tiring, but it's... Dylan and I, we sat here and shot this beautiful buck, and I told Dylan, we got to remember this feeling. He's like, isn't this awesome? I'm like, yeah, it is. We were able to experience this last year too. Very fortunate. And then Jen's here too. So Jen and Dylan, I've been out here with lots of friends. My brother's been out here, and to be able to bring Jen and Dylan here is very special last year, and then do it again this year. And so Jen, she's out here hunting, and I got a hold of her, which we don't always get cell service, and I told her what happened. She heard the shot. She was about 3/4 mile away, probably. Yeah. How long did it take you to walk here? 20 minutes? So I wouldn't have blamed her if she wanted to sit the rest of the day, but I really wanted to come over and see the buck. And what'd you do right away?
I'm coming.
Yeah, she just immediately, I didn't have to ask. She just said she was coming. So a very special time, very blessed. And now what do? We got to take care of it. And the first 2 or 3 deer out here, I drug them out. I had one on the back side of this hill that I drug up the hill for 2 hours, across the flat on top for an hour, and then 2 hours downhill to the truck. And just brutal drags out, wear a whole patch of leather off on the side of the deer. Did that 2 or 3 times. I had some help on one of them, and some old guy I met out here, he said, why don't you pack your deer out? Why don't you bring things in a frame pack? And I went back to the camp, and the guy's like, oh, no, we just drag them out. And from that point on, I think the first 3, maybe I drug out. And then the last 15, including this one, are going to be frame packed out. And a buddy of mine, Carl Keller, told me how to pack these out a long time ago. And it's worked out really, really well. And I'm going to explain what we're doing. And then Dylan will get some video of what we're doing. And I'll try to do as best I can. I always leave stuff out because it's freaking cold out here right now. It's 22 degrees. It's blowing wind. I think my toes, I don't know if they're going to be warm until I get down to the truck. Everything else, though, is going to be warmed up. And my body's pretty warm. My hands are cold. We're going to warm those up pretty quick here, though. But what we're doing is, and I'm sorry, I apologize in advance if I leave things out. We're making a cut from behind the head all the way down the back to the tail. Once that's accomplished, I'm going to push this over. I'm going to work that hide off down to the elbows on each leg. So we're going to go past the hind quarter, and that'll be on its side. And then what I'm going to do is meticulously, we're going to debone the meat on the front shoulder, the back straps, loins, hindquarters. We'll get any appreciable chunks of meat, pieces of meat that we can, and we'll take those out. Now, if we're working quick and try not to use the video and just moving it, this is like a 45-minute to an hour thing. It's not like hours that it takes to debone this deer. We're going to take this off, and we're going to take those pieces. And what we're doing is, Jen, you want to give me one of those bags? What we've been doing lately, we like canning venison, and so these 2-gallon bags are great. We're going to take these 2-gallon bags, and when we put meat in here, it's just solid meat. And we can fit a lot in this 2-gallon bag. What we're trying to do is we're actually trimming it pretty well, because we sit, Jen and I, for a long time, and we sit and take off all the fat and tallow, silver skin. We try to get to solid meat down to a point where we're actually going to put it in our quart jars or pint jars and can it. So we're trying to get it to that point. We're not going to do that meticulous out here, but we are going to get it to a point where it's pretty clean meat. And we don't really care when we can it, what pieces are going where. So as we're getting chunks off here, I'm going to give it to someone. They're going to put it in these 2-gallon bags. Then we'll go from there. The cool thing is we never really have to gut the deer. We reach up inside. We'll peel those inner loins out. If you want the heart, whatever, you can go get it. The bottom line is we're going to work on this each piece. We'll put them in those Ziploc bags. What we do with those is, since we're not canning it all in one day, we'll freeze it. I don't mind that bag of meat being in the freezer for a couple weeks. 3 weeks, but you can bet it's November 30th right now. By Christmas time, we'll have all that canned and done. We really enjoy it. We make a little apple pie moonshine, and so it's kind of a nice thing. We sip on some apple pie and sit with a couple cutting boards. We get these Havilon knives, not sponsored by them or anything, just they're good knives. Jen's used them before, and we really like them. The replaceables. These are actually new blades right here, so extremely sharp. But we'll sit and we'll cut that up for canning. Maybe we can talk about that in another video. But then we can use it in chili, over mashed potatoes, noodles, vegetable soup, burritos, tacos, lasagna.
You're making me hungry.
Yeah, no kidding. But canning's really cool. It's very easy. It's kind of intimidating at first, but anyways, that's what we're going to do out here. And then when we're done putting them in those 2-gallon bags of meat, we have some frame backs back here, some Mystery Ranch. What are those called, Dylan? The pop-up 30s?
Pop-up 30.
Yeah, and not sponsored by them either. Dylan's used those packs, and he has one, I think it's a 28 over here that he's used for a number of years, so he recommended them. That's why we bought them. We're going to stick the meat in there. We're going to cut the antlers off and leave it tagged, of course, like that, and get it on out of here. So again, we're really blessed to be out here and have it happen as a group. We consider Dylan family, so as a family we're out here doing this, and pretty rewarding to be able to do it. And in the meantime, what are you doing?
Hunting.
Yeah, so we're in a spot, we're right over in that crease over there. That's where my buck came up out of. That crease is awesome behind Dylan for deer going up and down. I keep thinking up above us through these big hemlocks and white pines, we could see antlers going across. There's a really nice bench down behind us. And in this spot right here, I've shot 3 of my last 3 years, 2019, 23, and 24. My last one was shot about 200 yards over there. The one in 2019, about 400 yards over that way. And that's where Jen was first hunting this morning, on the other side of there. So I've shot them all around here throughout the years. So your head should be on a swivel, right? And looking around, so we'll be ready. And in the meantime, we're going to get this thing cut up, and get it on out of here. Well, we just finished up, and a lot of times people don't realize how much deboned meat you get from an animal. It's different when you have the bones in, of course, but these deer out here are a lot smaller. I was a part of a camp. They've shot about 240 deer out here throughout the years, probably 250. I think we're going to go visit there tonight. They've kept records from the beginning, and 140 some pound dressed deer, maybe 150 is the biggest they've ever shot. And this is not one of the biggest. I would say it's probably in the 130s to 140 at the most. And they've gotten bigger over time as the deer herd's gotten smaller. But bottom line is, deboned meat, these bags right here, they're 2-gallon bags. We know from canning that one of these full bags right here, we can actually cut up and clean it up, and once we've trimmed even more off than we have right now, then that'll produce about 7 quarts for canning. And they say each quart is about 1.5 pounds of meat. I've read online somewhere where it's 2 pounds, but I think it's more like 1.5 pounds. So bottom line is, with these 3 bags right here, we're looking at, with the fat and everything on here, we're probably at 30 pounds plus of deboned meat, maybe 35. And that's about normal out here. But we're really happy with that because we've been cleaning it up as we cut it. So we've already cut off a lot of the fat and tallow. It's kind of like halfway prepped for canning, and then we'll go over it a little bit more, make sure it's totally clean, and then we'll can it. So that's what we intend to do with this. It'll be a lot of meals for our family. Think of it that way. This buck right here is going to be about 21 full quarts of canned venison. So that'll go a long ways. A quart per big pot of chili, and whatever else we want to make with it. We make a lot of vegetable soup too. So I say we, but Jen's the chili and soup master. So, and you like mixing some ground burger with it too. So ground burger and canned venison. It will be excellent. But this is part of the process of coming out here, and it's actually enjoyable. We really enjoy doing this, and so I hope you can learn something from this, and It's kind of nice because when we're doing this, we're even taking small scraps at times and cleaning them up and getting them in here. So we're just really looking towards canning, and we're gonna pack up now. I think I'll probably take 2. You'll take 1. How's that deal sound?
Whatever you want.
I think that's what we'll do. Is I'll take 2, and we'll stuff it down in there. And again, we still have it tagged in the ear, and we're gonna head down to the truck. It's about, I'd say, a 2-hour walk. As long as we don't have something like that come down on us. That thing's, it's creaking. It's gonna go. I feel like we could go over there and push it. Yeah.
Give her a push.
We heard a big one go down earlier. Were you here?
No.
Oh yeah, it was a giant crash over that way. So, but yeah, probably about 2 hours down to the truck with brakes, but it's all downhill except for the last 200 yards.
Yeah.
Then it's a severe uphill to get to the truck. Brutal's a good word, but and then we'll enjoy the night for sure. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. You're our best followers. You followed all the way to the end of the video. Really invite you to check out our website. We have our earthway spreaders for sale. Great Christmas presents. We're booking clients right now, all 5 of us. So by the end of December, it seems early, but by the end of December, our schedule will be booked for 2025. It's hard to believe. I'm already booked for December and most of January, February. We have our web classes, the rut web class, how to design your whitetail property, and really important, hunting hills and thermals, understanding the wind. Those are great products on our site, all the books. Thank you so much for watching all the videos, buying the seed that you did this year. Really appreciate you.